Coming to the chapter CMA Foundation Costing. In this first, before proceeding further, let us understand what is the meaning of the word costing. Okay. To understand the meaning of the word costing, first let us understand cost. So first objective will be to understand meaning of few words. Okay. So the first word what we'll focus is what is the meaning of cost. What do you mean by the cost? As a word itself specifies cost. You are using it in day-to-day life. You go and purchase something and your mother will ask you, hey idiot, what is the cost of the item what you have purchased? You'll say, Mom, this is the cost of the item what you have purchased. Is it the cost? Yes, my dear friends, it is a cost. It's a term which is used generically and it is used widely. Okay. If you see the definition of the word cost, it is said as any amount of expenditure attributable to a certain thing or service is called as cost. That's what the definition is given in your book. Any amount of expenditure, okay, including actual as well as notional. Now see here, this is the where the difference arises between cost accounting and financial accounting. In your financial accounting, my dear friends, in your accounts topic, in your accounting 100 marks paper, did you anytime take notional expenses? No. Never you have taken notional expenses. You are happy in taking only actual expenses. Now you will ask me a question. So what nonsense are these notional expenses? Notional expenses are those expenses which are expenses without any money outflow. So what you're talking? What nonsense you're talking? Expenses without money outflow is called as notional expense. Yes, my dear friends. Say for example, say for example, there is a your father. He has a house. He has two houses. Your father has two houses. Okay. In one house, you people are staying. In one more house, your father has given it to rent. Now you go to your father and you say, Dad, that is our own house. I'll do one thing. From tomorrow onwards, me and my girlfriend will start staying in that house. What your father will say? Your father will kick you out. Why? He is getting rent from that house. If you will stay in that house, he is not going to get rent from that house. Right? That is called
Yes.
as notional expenditure. Okay. Here, expenses where there is no cash outflow is called as notional expense. Or in a simple words, in your economic terms, if I want to say, you people call it as opportunity cost. Okay. Anywhere,
Internet.
yes. Or you can say implicit cost. Okay. Now, anywhere in your accounts, nowhere in your accounts, if the proprietor is using his own house for business, did he charge rent? No, never he has charged rent when he is using his own premises for business. But in costing, you'll charge. That's a beauty of the subject cost. Now, what is the definition of the word cost? To see the definition of the word cost, it is given somewhat like this. It is the amount of expenditure. This expenditure can be either actual or notional. Notional means imaginary. Okay. The amount of expenditure, actual or notional, incurred or attributable to a product or service is called as cost. Do you think every amount will be taken? No, only that amount which is expressed in terms of monetary terms, which is expressed in terms of money value, should be taken. This must be expressed in terms of monetary terms. This must be expressed in monetary terms. Okay, you have made some donation. Okay, you have made some donation. Do you receive any amount from the donation? Do you
No,
receive
sir.
any benefit from the donation? Yes. No, you
No.
won't get any benefit from the donation. Will this donation be considered in costing? No, it won't be considered in costing. You'll ignore this. You won't consider the donations in the costing because there is no benefit from that. Okay. So what do you mean by cost? The amount of expenditure, actual or notional, incurred or attributable to a product or service is called as cost. It must be expressed in terms of monetary terms. Okay. Or if I take one more definition, the amount of resources given up in exchange for some goods and services. In regular day-to-day life, the amount of resources given up in exchange of goods or services. You go to a salon, okay? That person has given you a service. Do you think the service is free? No, you have to give him some resource for that service what he has given you. The resource what you give him is a cost for you. Okay. So I hope it's clear, everybody, meaning of cost. Shall we proceed
Yes, sir.
further? Yeah. After understanding the meaning of cost, let's proceed further. Now comes the meaning of costing. What do you mean by costing? Cost, if you see it's a noun, costing, if you see it's an adjective. That's not the difference. Okay. Now let's try to find out what is the meaning of costing. Costing means it's a technique. It is a technique and process of ascertaining cost. A technique and process which we use to ascertain the cost is called as costing. Okay, here there are set of principles, there are rules, there are guidelines, there are procedures which helps us to find out the cost. Okay, say for example, I'm going to a trip. Okay, I'm going to a trip. If I go to a trip, what are all the expenses what I incur? First, traveling expenses, traveling cost, 100 rupees. Next, then I need to purchase something, shopping cost, 150 rupees. I like something, I have to eat it, cost 150 rupees. Okay, now I have to return back, traveling cost 100 rupees. Means the cost is beautifully framed in four different parts. Traveling cost to go there. Next, second point, we have shopping cost. Third, food cost. And fourth one, return travel cost. If you add these two, if you add these four, if you add these four things, we call it as costing. The technique or process of adding these four things is called as costing. Okay, now it is very simple, my dear friends. You have only four expenses and you have only 1%. The technique or process to add them is just to take the calculator and add them. But that is not the case in case of company. You have many expenses, you have many people making these expenses. So there will be several techniques and there will be several processes to find this cost. Okay, this is termed as costing. So what do you mean by the cost? Amount of expenditure what you incurred is called as cost. The technique to find this cost is called as costing. Okay. Say for example, there is a company which is manufacturing a product. The technique to find out the cost of this product is called as costing. The technique to find the trip of cost is called as costing. Okay. How you will find? Simple. Add all these things. You will get the cost of the trip. That is called as costing. Next, third definition. Before that, it contains several principles and guidelines. It contains several principles and guidelines. Okay. So if you see in your book, very big definitions are given. I'm just summarizing those definitions and I'm giving you. So first we understood cost, next we understood costing. Now third, let us try to understand what is cost accounting. Cost accounting. What do you mean by the word cost accounting? Let's try to understand. Cost accounting means it's a branch of accounting. First point I can say, it's a branch of accounting. If you see, my dear friends, the accounting is divided into three branches. The entire accounting is divided into three branches: financial accounting, cost accounting, and management accounting. These are the three types of accounting what we do. Financial accounting, cost accounting, you'll learn in your syllabus. Management accounting, you will not learn. Okay. If you want to learn management accounting, there is another course called as SEMA for that, Certified Institute of Management Accountancy. You're supposed to do that in order to learn the management accounting. However, cost accounting and financial management will be taught to you. First thing, it's a branch of accounting dealing with dealing with classifying, classification, recording, allocation, summarization, and reporting of current and prospective costs. Okay, now let us try to understand the definition. First, we understood what is the meaning of cost. Then we went further and we understood what is the meaning of costing. Now we are understanding what is the meaning of cost accounting. Cost accounting, it says a branch of accounting dealing with classification, recording, allocation, summarizing, and reporting of current and prospective costs. Now try to understand, my dear friends. Let us assume that you are a cost accountant to a company. When you're cost accountant to a company, the CEO of the company will surely ask you to get the costs of the company, right? So in this case, what you will do, you will make a very big book and you'll give it to the CEO. He'll tick you and he'll send. I have the experience of working in a company where the trial balance of the company was around 300 pages. The trial balance alone of the company was around 300 pages. That is very, very, very small company. It has a turnover of somewhere around 1.5 to 2 crores. That's it. It was a very small company, and that small company alone has a trial balance of 300 pages. This must be summarized in a statement and it must be given to the CEO. Then only he can understand. He has many works, right? So here in this, what you'll do in cost accounting, see, cost is a part of costing. Costing is a part of cost accounting. Okay, cost accounting includes costing in that. Don't think everything is different, my dear friends. If you see a relation between them, first, so smallest is cost. Among all, the smallest is cost. Above cost, you have costing. Means, can I say costing includes cost? Yes, costing includes cost. After costing, we have cost accounting. Means, can I say cost accounting includes costing? Yes, cost
Yes.
accounting includes costing. Now, beyond cost accounting, you have something called as cost accountancy. Beyond costing, you have something called as cost accountancy. And cost accountancy is the thing what you are going to do after clearing your examination. This is the main focus in the entire CMA field, cost accountancy. Now let's proceed further. So what do you mean by costing? Costing is nothing but, first, you are classifying. Cost can be classified into many parts. We will see that in how many parts cost can be classified. Next, recording. This cost must be recorded. This cost must be allocated and summarized. As I said you, there are 300 to 400 pages. This entire cost must be summarized and this must be reported. This must be reported to whom? It must be reported to higher management. Sir, only current cost will be recorded? No, future cost will also be recorded. Say, for example, you are running a machinery. Okay, this machinery will not work for the lifelong, right? There might be
Yes.
some problem with this machinery. It won't work for lifelong. So, in future, say for example, after 2 3 years, you have to have one more machinery. Okay, now immediately you won't get money, right? Now you want to do one course. Okay, you cannot get up overnight and say to your father, father, I want to do this course, give me money. Your father will kick you on your face and they'll tell you go and sleep. You have to give them some time, right? The same way with prospective costs also, you have to tell them in advance, okay, so that the management can plan for that. That's what you will be doing in your simple interest, compound interest, and time value of money chapter. You are creating something called a sinking fund, right? That's nothing but prospective cost only, my dear friends. Okay. Next, fourth one comes cost accountancy. This is the most important part. Cost accountancy. Cost accountancy. Now, what do you mean by cost accountancy? Cost accountancy means it's the application of costing and cost accounting principles. It is the application of it is the application of cost accounting principles, methods, techniques to the cost control cost reduction and ascertainment of profit. So basically, if I want to summarize, it is the presentation of information for managerial decision purpose. Presentation of information for managerial decision purpose. One small thing I can tell you, my dear friends. Among all these four words, the major word is cost accountancy, because cost accountancy includes cost accounting. Cost accounting includes costing. Costing includes cost. So cost accountancy is the word given to this subject. So this cost accountancy includes everything in that. Okay. So in cost accounting, what you were doing in cost accounting, you were summarizing these costs. Okay. This cost accounting is something which will be done by BCom people or MCom people. Those people will be doing this cost accounting. So what do you mean by this cost accountancy? Using this cost accounting, you must assist the management for decision making. Okay, that is called as cost accountancy. There is a product which you are going to launch in the market. Okay, now the cost accountant says this is the cost of the product. The cost accountancy, what it will do here, it will say whether the project should be launched or not. If it is launched, what discount must be given? If it is launched, what are the future perspectives? If it is launched, what are the losses to the companies? All these things are something which are dealt under cost accountancy. Okay, so it's a quite it has a very vivid range, my dear friends. Cost accountancy. Now, if you read the definition, it is an application of cost accounting principles, methods, and techniques to cost control, cost reduction, and ascertainment of profit. What is this cost control and cost reduction? We'll see. Now, let's see one small example for cost accountancy. Let's see one small example. There is a company. Okay, this company manufactures one product. One product is manufactured by this company called as ABZ. It manufactures a product called as ABZ. To manufacture this product, the company needs to purchase raw material. The company needs to purchase raw material. Raw material is 8 per kg. Okay. There is a person who is called as watchman who take cares of all these things, who supervises from outside. I need to pay him a salary of 10,000 rupees per annum. There is an employee for whom I need to pay a salary of 12,000 per annum. Okay. Right now, right now, I'm selling the product. The selling price of the product is somewhere around 13 rupees. The selling price for the product is somewhere around 13 rupees. Now, let us assume that I made a production of 1000 units. Okay, how much production I have made? I have made a production of say somewhere around 10,000 units. Now, if I made a production of 10,000 units, let's calculate the profit here. What are sales? 13 into 10,000, 1,30,000. Raw material, 80,000. Next, watchman payment, 10,000. Employee salary, 12,000. Let me move it aside. So what is the profit what I get? 80, 90, 100, 102. So 130 minus 102, we get around 28,000 profit.
28,000.
Okay. Now, this is where the cost accounting ends. The cost accounting says the profit is 28,000. Okay. You are getting a profit of 28,000. Now, there will be a person who comes and says you, okay, you do one thing, stop the manufacturing. Okay. Give the entire things to me. I'll pay you an amount of 30,000. I'll pay you not 30,000, let's say 35,000. I'll pay you 35,000 because if you do this, you are going to get a profit of 28,000. He'll say, I'll pay you 35,000. What do you do? Will you accept or will you reject? He'll say he'll pay you 35,000. Are you going to accept this or are you going to reject this? You are getting a profit of 28,000, but that person says he'll pay you 35,000.
We'll reject, sir.
You'll reject? Why you'll reject? If you reject, why you'll reject? If you accept, why you'll accept? This is
Sir,
where the
because our
cost
profit
accounting
is only
goes. Yeah, your profit is only
28,000, no, sir. Why we want the extra amount? Like, why
that
they'll
person
pay
says
35,000?
that person says that person another person is coming and telling you, stop this nonsense, I'll pay you 35,000. Your profit is 28,000. That person is coming and telling you, stop the nonsense, I'll pay you 35,000. Will you accept the proposal or will you reject the proposal? That is my question. Why he pays all those things are extra are not relevant for us. You got a proposal of 35,000. Will you accept or will you reject?
We will reject, sir.
Why you will reject?
Because we're getting only 7,000 from him now, sir.
Here you're getting only 7. You're getting no extra 7,000 from him. He's paying you, if you are in this business, you will earn only 28,000. But that person is saying, stop this business, I'll pay you 35,000. He's giving no extra 7,000. If you are running, you will get only 28,000. But if you stop running, he's paying you 35,000. Extra 7,000 he's paying. Okay, let me tell you the answer. You will reject the offer. Why you will reject the offer? How much is paying you? He's paying you 35,000 rupees. But watchman salary and employee expenses both are fixed expenses. These expenses are those things which cannot be avoided. You can avoid raw material expenses, but you cannot avoid these expenses. They are statutory expenses. You cannot avoid them. You cannot remove an employee just like that. There will be industrial laws protecting them. Okay. So 35,000 minus 10,000 minus 12,000. 35,000 minus 22,000. You have somewhere around 13,000. If you accept this proposal, you will get a profit of 13,000. But earlier, how much profit you are getting? 28,000 profit you are getting. So in order to accept this proposal or reject this proposal, if a normal cost accountant is there who does not know cost accountancy, who does not haven't done CMA, he will say that, Acha, right now you are earning 28,000, that person will pay you 35,000, accept the proposal. No, that's not the issue here. That's not going to happen here. Okay, there are some fixed expenses which cannot be avoided. That is watchman salary and employee. Even those things should also be considered. Okay, this is what the cost accountancy tells you. This is what the cost accountancy tells whether to accept the proposal or whether to reject the proposal. At what case, what step must be taken by company. Okay, how the control procedures will be implied, all those things. Okay, but that is not the main objective by me. I hope these four words are clear. These are the four things which I want you to understand. What is the meaning of cost? What is the meaning of costing? What is the meaning of cost accounting? What is the meaning of cost accountancy? Okay, I hope these four words are clear, everybody. Shall we proceed
Yes,
further?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the importance of this cost accounting? Importance of cost accounting. The cost accounting is summarizedly important to four different people, five different people. Who are those five different people? First, the main importance of this cost accounting will be to the management. They are the people who are going to use this exclusively. First importance is to management. So for management, what importance they have? Okay. In cost accounting, what we do is that we'll classify and subdivide the cost. Classification and subdivision of cost will happen. Now, what is this classification and subdivision of cost? Let me tell you. Now, if you see financial accounting, my dear friends, if you see this trading and P&L account, in trading account, you directly write raw material purchased. That's it. You don't write anything. You'll write opening stock of raw material, you'll write closing stock of raw material, you'll write raw material purchased. That's it. You won't write any other item. But in cost accounting, you don't write like that. When you are purchasing raw material, this raw material purchases will be broken into several parts. Okay. In raw material purchase, you will add transportation cost, you will add carriage, you will add excise duty, you will add other taxes, you will add
Tax.
containers cost, okay, you will add GST. All these things will be separately added. Okay, one cost will be subdivided into several parts. Okay, that is called as classification and subdivision of cost. Why you are doing these all things? You are doing these all things in order to provide the proper information to management. To see in financial accounting, you just write raw material purchased, but in costing, that's not the thing. In raw material purchase, what is the exact cost what you have given to raw materials? How much amount you paid to purchase manager? What skill he has shown there to purchase those goods? All those will be recorded. That's the reason classification and subdivision of cost happens. Next, point number 2. Control of material, labor, and overhead expenses. What is overhead? We haven't discussed. We'll discuss it later on. Control of material, labor, and overhead expenses. Now try to understand. In financial accounting, you will write salary paid. That's it. You won't write anything in trading and P&L accounts. But in cost accounting, that's not the situation. When you are writing salary paid, you'll write how much you are paying them monthly, how much bonus is paid, how much EPF is cut, how much allowances you are paying, how much perquisites you are giving them. Everything will be written. And skilled labor, how much you are paying, unskilled labor, how much you are paying, administration staff, how much you are paying. Next, selling and distribution staff, how much you are paying, production staff, how much you are paying. Okay, so if you are subdividing this cost into many parts, it helps for the proper control of material expenses, proper control of labor expenses. You see that a particular person was earning bonus from the past 3 years, but this year that person didn't earn the bonus. Why he didn't earn any bonus? Is he dissatisfied with the company that he is not working properly? Or is he thinking to jump to any other company that is not working properly in this company? So many things can be analyzed. Okay, where in financial accounting, where you will analyze all these things? That person will just write salary paid in P&L account. What you will analyze? Nothing you can analyze. Okay, but here, since you are subdividing the cost into many parts, you can have a proper control on material, you can have a proper control on labor, you can have a proper control on cost. Overhead expenses. What is overhead? We'll discuss, not an issue. Now, once you know the proper cost, it will help you to price determination. Will help you to determine the price. Price determination. Okay. Next. Now, there are some any business policy decisions what you need to take. It will help you to take even there that also business policy decisions. Okay. Next point number 5. Standards for measuring efficiency. Standards for measuring efficiency. Now, if you see, my dear friends, in case of financial accounting, nowhere you will have standards to measure efficiency. You are doing partnership accounts in your CA foundation, or in your CMA enter, you will do partnership accounts. In partnership accounts, there will be admission, retirement, death, excuse me, admission, retirement, death, and insolvency. Sale of partnership firm will be there. Nowhere efficiency of partnership calculation will be there. Okay. Now, there you will distribute the profits to the partners based upon their capital contribution. But here in costing, that's not the case. You will see the efficiency of workers. Even those things will be calculated here. Standards for measuring efficiency. How to calculate the efficiency for workers? Depending upon the efficiency, you will pay them bonus. Okay. However, in your CMA inter, you will see the way this efficiency of workers will be calculated. Next, best use of limited resources. Best use of limited resources. Now, since you know the cost, where it is incurred, where it is incurred more, where it is incurred less, you will properly use the limited resources what are available with you. Next, point number 7. Special factors like calculation of idle time, etc. Now, in your financial accounting, my dear friends, if there are some workers who are not working, will you charge any expenses? No. Because in financial accounting, only actual expenses must be taken, notional expenses should not be taken. But in costing, that's not the situation, my dear friends. There's a 1 hour power cut in the company. Because of this 1 hour power cut, how much loss is incurred by the company? Even this is calculated in case of costing. Okay, there's an idle time. Because of this 1 hour power cut, every worker is staying idle. Okay, now because of this, the cost must be incurred by the company. Though actually no cost will be incurred, it will be like if the current cut was not there, this persons would have worked and given us extra income. If current cut was not there, this useless people would have earned, would have worked, and would have given us extra income. But since current cut is there, these people didn't earn, that is loss for us. This will be calculated in costing. All these things will not be calculated in financial accounting. They'll be just like preparation, presentation, analysis. What all these things? They'll prepare cash flow statement, they'll prepare trading P&L account, they'll prepare balance sheet. That's it. But in costing, that's not the situation, my dear friends. Idle time capacity will be calculated, not only for laborers, even for machine also it will be calculated. If this 1 hour power cut is not there, the machine would have worked. If machine would have worked, I would have generated revenue from that machine. That is lost because of power cut. I'm sad, very sad. So all these things, it helps the management. Importance of costing. First importance of costing is to management. Second importance of costing is to workers. Now, as I said you, we are analyzing individual workers. When you are analyzing individual workers, you will see the efficiency of these workers. Depending upon the efficiency, you will pay them bonus. Next, third importance is given to creditors and investors. Creditors and investors. Now, when the creditors know how much cost you are incurring, how much profit you are getting, they will be very happy to give you loans. When the investors know how much cost you are incurring, how much profit you are getting, they'll be ready to invest in your companies. You see, man, anybody they'll show interest to invest in Reliance company or not? Yes, everybody
Yes, sir.
will show interest to invest in Reliance company. But anybody will show interest to invest in Swiggy and Zomato? No, they are
No.
loss-making companies. Nobody will show interest there. Next, importance to government. When your cost is known properly, it will help the government to take any policy decisions, all those things. To know, it helps the government to know how much tax should be charged, how much tax must be collected from you. If you are incurring losses, what benefits can be provided to you by the government. All these things will be helping to the government. Next, at last, it is useful to general public. The main objective of the entire cost accounting is to reduce the cost of the product. The main objective of the entire cost accounting is to reduce the cost of a product. When the cost of the product is reduced, who are the ultimate benefits? Who are going to get the ultimate benefits? The customer is the person who is going to get the ultimate benefits when the cost of product is going to reduce, right? So importance to general public. So these are the several importance what I can buy for what I can take for the term called as cost accounting. However, that's not that important for the examination. Just try to remember the importances. Several importance I've written. Just try to remember the side headings. That's it. Don't try to remember what is there in the side headings, all those things. Just if he asks, you must be in a position to write to whom it is going to give you the benefit. So I hope it's clear, everybody, till here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's proceed further. So till now, what we have seen the meaning of four words: cost, costing, cost accounting, cost accountancy. I said you cost is nothing but the amount of expenditure. The recording of this expenditure is costing. Okay. Summarizing and recording is cost accounting. Using this cost accounting information for decision purposes is called as cost accountancy. Main head is cost accountancy. Under this cost accountancy, you will get cost accounting. Under this cost accounting, you will get costing. Under this costing, you will get cost. Then we have started the importance of cost accounting to five people: management, workers, creditors, government, and general public. If you want to read the information what I have said you, that is given in your CMA material detailedly. Just once try to read. If you have time, just try to read. If not, you can ignore. Next, what are the objectives of costing? Many objectives are given in your CMA material, but I have summarized the entire objectives of costing into five parts. Objectives of costing. So many objectives are given, but I have summarized it into only 5 points. What are those 5 points? First objective of costing is to ascertain the cost. First objective of costing is to ascertain the cost. Now, what you will do by ascertaining the cost, you'll try to find the selling price. If you know the cost only, no, then only know you can find the selling price. Ascertainment of the determination of selling price. Determination of selling price. Now you know cost, you know selling price. What will be the difference between cost and selling price? It will give the profit. So third one is ascertainment of profit. The difference between selling price and cost will give you something called as profit. Next, fourth most important objective is cost control and cost reduction. And fifth objective is assisting management in decision making. Assisting management in decision making. So these are the five main objectives of costing. First, ascertainment of cost. Instead of saying costing, I can say cost accounting. That will be even more best way. Don't say cost accountancy every time. At last, you say only cost accounting. The cost accountancy part you learn in your CMA final. You have a separate subject for that, a special subject dedicated for cost accountancy. Okay, how the decisions will be making, all those things. So till then, you use the word cost accounting only. So objectives of cost accounting. There are total 5 objectives of cost accounting: ascertainment of cost, ascertainment of selling price, determination of selling price, ascertainment of profit, cost control and cost reduction, assisting management in decision making. All these things is clear. Now first let us try to understand what is cost control and cost reduction. That's the most important part, understanding of cost control and cost reduction. And many times in the examination, this word cost control and cost reduction was asked. If time permits, we'll try to solve the previous year question papers also, what are being given in your CMA website. We'll try to solve them also if time permits us. One minute, everybody. Now, let's try to understand what is cost control, what is cost reduction. What is cost control and cost reduction? Now, first let us understand the meaning of cost control. As the word itself mentions, control. Controlling something is called as cost control. Controlling the cost is called as cost control. So what do you mean by this cost control? Try to understand. Controlling something then and there itself is called as cost control. Now, simple example I'll tell you. Now, everything in this world must be controlled. Okay. Cost is like an hydrogen balloon, my dear friends. Cost is like an hydrogen balloon. 1 minute. Yeah. Cost is like an hydrogen balloon. If you don't control it and if you just leave it, it goes on. It just goes up. Say, for example, one small example, I'll say, I hope Sai is not there to tell this example.
Unna.
Achha, Sai is there. So let's not take this example. Let's take one more example.
Yeah.
So let's see. Say, for example, there are certain amount of biscuits in your house or certain amount of chocolates in your house. Okay. Now, when these biscuits or chocolates are there in your house, daily your mother, she says that there's a standard you have to eat only one. Okay. But your mom stopped the control on you. So what you'll do? Since she's not saying, since she's not controlling you, first day you ate one, second day instead of eating one, you'll eat five, third day instead of eating five, you'll eat 10. Okay. So what's happening when you are supposed to control something? If you don't control something, it goes on increases. That's the reason the cost control is very important. Okay. Now, how this cost control happens? Say, for example, in a company, you have fixed that this year the expenditure should not go beyond 1 lakh. This year the expenditure should not go beyond 1 lakh. But you have seen that the expenditure has become 1 lakh 1,000. Okay, you'll see the difference. The difference in costing is called as variance. You'll see that the difference is equals to 1,000. Variance is nothing but difference. The difference is equals to 1,000. You will sit and analyze why this difference of 1,000 has arisen. You'll sit and analyze why this difference of 1,000 has arisen. This is called as cost control procedures. So in cost control, what you'll do, my dear friends? First, you will fix a standard. You are trying to keep it controlled there itself. First, you will fix a standard. After fixing the standard, you'll try to compare it with the actual result. Compare with the actual result. After comparing your actual result, you will analyze the variance, analyze the difference, analyze the variance. That is difference. Next, Now, why this difference arises? Is this difference a positive difference or this difference is a negative difference? You will take an action on this. Take action on difference. Take action on difference. Okay, sir, we understood cost control is something where you are trying to control something. Then what is this cost reduction? Okay, cost reduction happens when there is a proper cost control. Say, for example, my dear friends, when you will become intelligent person in the class, you have decided that today you will study 10 questions and you have successfully achieved your target 10 questions. Tomorrow you have decided that you will study 10 questions and you have successfully achieved that target of 10 questions. Then next day you kept a target of studying 11 questions and yes, you have achieved your target of 11 questions. And that next day again you kept a target of 12 questions and you have achieved a target of 12 questions. Actually, your capability was only 10 questions, but today you are reading 12 questions. That next day you kept the target of 15 questions, and yes, you read the 15 questions. See what's happening, your capability is increasing. At last, you'll become the most intelligent person in the class. The same thing happens. Today, you kept a standard of 50,000, you achieved the standard of 50,000. Tomorrow, you kept the standard of 49,000, you have achieved the target of 49,000. Day after tomorrow, you kept the standard of 48,000, and yes, you have achieved the target of 48,000. And there comes a point where you cannot reduce the cost, it becomes fixed there itself. You kept the standard of 45,000 and you have achieved the standard of 45,000. Where earlier you were working for 50,000, now your standard has become 45,000. You have reduced the cost of product for 45,000. This is called as cost reduction. Reducing something is called as cost reduction. Having a control on that is called as cost control. Reducing something is called as cost reduction, and having the control on that is called as cost control. Now, so cost reduction starts when cost control ends. Next, let us see what is cost reduction. Cost reduction, it starts when cost control ends. It is achieved when there is permanent reduction in cost. When there is permanent reduction in cost. Now, try to understand, my dear friends. Say, for example, you're running a shop. When you're running a shop, you made some arrangement with the owner, and you said that for 2-3 months, I'm not going to pay the rent. That person has also accepted. You might have done some nonsense things, so that person has accepted, right? Now, what you'll do, you'll try to reduce the cost of the goods. Now, customers will be very happy. They'll start purchasing from you because you have reduced the cost of goods. After 3 months, will the owner accept? He'll come and
No,
he'll
sir.
ask you rent. Now, when he is asking you rent, do you think that you can charge the same amount of price to the customers? No, you are supposed to increase the price. When you increase the price, do you think will the customers purchase from you? No, they'll not purchase. So the reduction what you have made in the span of 3 months, it's not a permanent reduction, it's a temporary reduction. So cost reduction is something which must be permanent. Okay, it should not be temporary. It is achieved by challenging the standards again and again. It is achieved by challenging standards again and again. Like I said, you first you keep 50,000 standard, then you keep 49,000 standard, then you keep 48,000 standard, then you keep 47,000 standard, like this. Now, my favorite dish was Maggie. I used to like Maggie a lot. I used to eat minimum weekly twice. But by the time I don't care whether there is a lead in that Maggie or whether there's a zinc in that Maggie or whether there's a magnet in that Maggie. I don't care because I like that. But the day when that person has increased the Maggie price from 10 rupees to 12 rupees, that is the day where I stopped eating Maggie because I'm a typical Indian customer. I don't like. What is the difference? I don't feel much difference between Maggie, Yippee, Patanjali noodles, all those things. When they are available at 10 rupees, why the hell I'll purchase Maggie for 12 rupees? I stopped eating from that day. I never ate Maggie again. Not because it contains lead or zinc or manganese, something, but because they have increased the price to 2 rupees extra. The same thing happens when I go to drink cool drinks. If any price even a 1 rupee more, I'll not purchase that. I have to purchase that. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all are same. The black drinks, Kala drinks. Who cares? I don't care. So if they increase the price, I'll not purchase. So this cost reduction must be permanent. This should not be temporary. Now, areas where this cost reduction can be done, so that you can fool the customers. Areas where cost reduction can be done. There are few areas where I can do cost reduction. The areas are something like design of the product. Design of the product. I can change the design of the product. Now, in those days, those are golden days where I used to spend 10 rupees and I used to get very big dairy milk. Now, the price of dairy milk did not change, but the quantity of dairy milk has reduced drastically. That is the design of product. Those people have achieved the permanent cost reduction. Nobody will say, no, you increase the price. Price is not increased, quantity is decreased. You take Jendu Balm. Earlier, they used to give in glass bottles. Now they are giving in underrated plastic bottles. And down one hole will be there. If you open that Jendu Balm down, you will see a big hole in that where Jendu Balm will not be there. Small amount of Jendu Balm will be there. I don't have here, or else I would have shown it to you.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. So design of the product. You can change the design of the product. Next, factory organization and production methods. Factory organization and production methods. By changing factory organizations and production methods, you can get a permanent reduction in price. Okay. Now, if you see, there are many places where fruit juices will be served. Okay. In some places, fruit juice rate will be more. In some places, fruit juice rate will be less. Why the fruit juice rate will be less in other product places? He'll be using less quality fruit. That is one thing. Next, he'll be using a grinders which is using from past 5 to 6 years. Okay, he'll keep grinding the grinder machine there and he'll leave. That will only rotate. It will only shout. It will only cry. At last, it will only grind. But if you go to some advanced juice shops, there are many advanced juice shops nowadays. Organic juice shops, fresh fruit juice shops, some special names I have given. I went to a juice shop in the recent days where I've seen a juice machinery which is cost of 1,75,000. They are using the machinery which costs 1,75,000 to extract the juice from the fruits. That's all nonsense actually. Okay, that's nothing but factory organization and production methods should be used to reduce the cost, but these people are increasing the cost. Okay, however, we have a perfect the competition is vivid in our areas, so it's okay, it happens. So by changing factory organization and production methods, we can reduce the cost. If you see Apple company, if they produce in USA, if they produce in USA, what happens? The labor cost is very much high. They must pay minimum salary of $100 per day. But if the same people produce in India, they are going to pay maximum of $10 per day. There they are paying $100. Here they are paying $10. By just relocating the factory, they are going to get cost reduction. Next, third point, by best marketing strategies. By best marketing strategies, also cost reduction can be done, my dear friends. Say, for example, I am running a class of 50 students. When I am running the class of 50 students, the rent of the classroom must be borne by these 50 students. Or say for example, when I am running a class of 50 students, I charge 7,000 rupees. But when the strength grows to 500 students, do you think I charge the same 7,000 rupees? No, I'll charge only 6,000 rupees. I've done a fantastic marketing that I got 500 students. Now, in this case, the rent will be borne by these 500 students. The burden will reduce. Okay, so these are the several areas where cost reduction can be done. So, what do you mean by cost control and cost reduction? Cost reduction is reducing the price. How you'll achieve that? By challenging your standards again and again. Cost control means stopping the price where it has reduced, controlling the price where it has stopped. It is called as cost control. See, there is no distinction between cost control and cost reduction, my dear friends. It is given in your book distinction between cost control and cost reduction, but that's a vague concept. In that distinction only, he has given that there is no distinction between cost control and cost reduction. These two, cost control and cost reduction, they go hand by hand. Okay. Now, before closing, I want to take one small example, my dear friends. Cost, profit, selling price. Cost is 10, selling price is 12. What is the profit? Profit is 2 rupees.
2 rupees.
Selling price is 13. What is the profit? 3
3
rupees.
rupees.
3 rupees.
Selling price is 15. What is the profit?
5 rupees.
Profit will be 0. It will not be 5 rupees. Why profit will be
How,
0?
sir?
Who will purchase your product? Nobody will purchase your product. You are selling something which is sold outside for 10 rupees, you are selling for 15 rupees. Nobody will purchase your product. Profit will be 0. Okay, when you sell only, no, you'll get some profit. Just by selling price minus costing, you won't get profit. If you sell the product, then only you will get the profit. That's the reason in entire subject called as cost accounting, nowhere we talk regarding selling price. We talk only regarding costing. Okay. If you want to increase the profit, you cannot increase selling price, my dear friends. You are supposed to decrease the profit. Two ways profits can be increased, either by increasing the selling price, either by decreasing the cost. You see, Maggie has increased the selling price by 2 rupees. There was a drastic fall in customers. You can say only 2 rupees. No, but it hits the Indian customers a lot. Why I myself, who is a fan of Maggie, have stopped eating Maggie because they have increased the price by 2 rupees. Okay, by increasing the selling price, you cannot increase the profit. Only by decreasing the cost, you can increase the profit. That is the reason the subject is named as cost accounting. Okay, every time we'll be talking like reduction of cost only. Nowhere you'll try to increase the selling price. Okay, so basically, if you see in today's class, we have seen total 3 different things. Meaning of several words: cost, costing, cost accounting, cost accountancy. Next, importance of costing to 5 different people: management. Next,
Workers,
workers, creditors and investors, general
government,
public, government. Right? Then we have seen 5 objectives of cost accounting. In these 5 objectives of cost accounting, our focus was on cost control and cost reduction. Now, in tomorrow's session, what we'll do is that first we'll do elements of costing. After doing elements of costing, I'll take up cost sheet. Cost sheet sure shorted 5 marks question will be in the examination. Though it's an MCQ examination, a cost sheet will be given and MCQs will be asked. Okay, so these two things we will do. We will do this elements of costing, we'll do cost sheet. After elements of costing and cost sheet, we'll do classification of cost. After classification of cost, we'll do cost methods, cost techniques. Then we will do cost
accounting standard.
unit. Okay, and at last we'll do MCQs, all those things. Okay, so tomorrow our objective is to take up elements of costing and cost sheet. Once elements of costing and cost sheet are done, then we considerable portion will be done. Okay, then we can go for classification and rest out things. That's it for the day, my dear friends. So much theory we have taken up. And tomorrow we'll focus on practical parts. So rest out things we'll see in tomorrow's session. So see you tomorrow, everybody.
Okay, thank you, sir.